welcome to the international visiting lecture today with University of Malaysia Perlis. Welcome to the Honorable Dr. Safawati Muhammad Sabri as a senior lecturer from University Malaysia Perlis. As for the topic today is sustainability and environmental accounting integrating into managerial decision making. And for today's session is being live streamed on the University of STEKOM YouTube channel. And now I will read our agenda this afternoon. First, we will start class presentation delivered by Dr. Atikah and continue with the Q&A session. In the next session, we have time for documentation unless time is closing. Okay, let's begin. We will start class presentation delivered by Dr. Atikah. The time is yours. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much to Miss Novita as our host for today. Is from Officer of International Affairs, University of Science and Computer Technology or STEKOM. Okay, also thank you so much with the collaborators from STIE STEKOM, PERKIVI, PTIC, and also toplocker.com. So thank you so much for invite me for today's session according to visiting lecture. All right. So first of all, I would like to share with you in terms of the topic that we want to have a sharing knowledge for today that is related to essential management skills for successful young entrepreneur. Okay, for your information, this topic I raised up for today's session because I think to success in entrepreneurial world, especially we are focusing on young entrepreneur, we need to have these kinds of skill, all right? So we consider as a topic that we want to discuss today, management skill. Okay, so let me share the slide first. Yeah, can you see the slide clearly right now?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, thank you so much. Okay, so first of all, let me introduce myself. Okay, I'm Atikah Nur binti Johari. I'm senior lecturer at University of Malaysia Perlis. So currently, right now, I'm teaching related to entrepreneurship and management field. And a brief discussion in terms of my expertise and my knowledge. So actually, I'm the area of the entrepreneurship, and currently, right now, I'm doing research related to agriculture sector that I'm focusing to small medium enterprise and also look at regarding entrepreneurial success, more related to young entrepreneur or young agropreneur, and basically all research related to business management. So for today's session, I would like to share with you in terms of essential management skill for successful young entrepreneur. So I'm not sure related of the participants today, are you from background of the management or business or other than this field? Miss Novita, can I have roughly information related to the participant for today?
Yes, it's okay.
Is it come from management or business, or it's come from multi background?
Management class only.
Okay, all right. Okay, thank you. So I get the picture, all right? So now, okay, let we begin our sharing for today. So for this topic, we will begin with look at this trend, or we can say in terms of the success and failure rate. Okay, so it most related to startup business. Okay, for the scenario of global, we can see here for percentage in terms of only 50% succeed in a startup business for long term. And then most of the percentage is fail, okay? Fail in startup business between 2 to 5 years. And then followed by 10% fail within first year and 5% others. So this scenario is give a whole picture regarding the startup success and failure rate in a global view. All right. So now we will see regarding the trend in Malaysia. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, in the context of small medium enterprise, we can see here 60% SME fail within 5 years, and then 20% startup surviving annually, and 20% is other. So we can see the figure 60% fail. Okay, and then when it comes across to Indonesia, the same trend or scenario is happening right now. Okay, for example, maybe it's not the latest data, but it can give us a clear picture regarding the startup for survival rates in Indonesia. Okay, 67% fail after surviving for 2 years, and then 33% close within 12 to 20 months. So we can see from this scenario, from this figure percentage, we need some action, okay, to make sure that this startup business can operate and survive in their business. All right. So related to that scenario, that issue, I bring this learning objective for you to share with you, okay, in terms of the management aspect, and also I'm going to relate with entrepreneurship and focusing on young entrepreneur. Okay, so there are 6 objectives for today's session. The first one is to understand the definitions of management, entrepreneurship, and young entrepreneur. And then for the second one is discuss the importance of effective management in business organization. And the third one is discuss the entrepreneurial process. Continue with the BMC. And then we will focusing on young entrepreneur. We want to look regarding what are the key characteristics for young entrepreneurial success. And we will last with the challenges faced by young entrepreneur. Okay, for your information, while I'm doing my study before, so I found that the most important factor that contribute to the failure in startup or in business organization is because of the attitude actually. Okay, attitude. But the attitudes will can be improved or can be increase in terms of the entrepreneur, him or herself, in terms of the management. So that's why today I want to share with you the importance of management in order to make sure that young entrepreneur can use the skill of management to manage a startup or business to make sure that the business will be grow and sustain in the future. Okay, basically, first of all, we need to understand the definition or the concept of management, entrepreneurship, and young entrepreneur. Okay, according to the Robbins and Coulter 2018, so they define management is a process actually. Okay, the process of planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So these 4 terms we can describe as a main function that we need to have in management. Okay, such as we can say that we have to manage regarding people, we have to manage regarding time, resources, materials, equipment, and so on, in order to make sure that we can blend together all the resources in order to achieve specific goal effectively and efficiently. See here the 2 terms, effectively and efficiently, to make sure that in order to manage our business organization, we need to confirm that to the end, we can achieve our goal effectively and efficiently. Okay, now, clear regarding management, I want to share with you also regarding the definition of entrepreneurship. All right. So actually, entrepreneurship is also the process, a process of creative disruption where entrepreneurs innovate by introducing new combination of resources that disrupt existing market. So this definition given by Joseph Schumpeter, 1934. So we can see here, when it's come to entrepreneurship, we must do something that use the concept of creativity, innovative, to make sure that we can produce goods and services that have the added value to the customer. Okay, in order to help improve community lifestyle, for example. So we need to blend together management and entrepreneurship in order to make sure that young entrepreneur can manage the business organization to make sure that we can achieve the goals, the vision, the mission, okay, by using systematic strategy. So by today, I also will give to you regarding the definitions of young entrepreneur. So every country will define young entrepreneur according to their context, okay? So for example, in a general definition, we can define a young entrepreneur as an individual. So the age, normal practice under 35 years old, who start and run a business venture early in life, right? Often driven by innovation, ambition, and a desire to solve real world problems. So why with this young person want to call as a young entrepreneur? So these young entrepreneurs, maybe they want to do something different. They want to innovate. They want to continue their hobby, their ambition, and also maybe in order to solve problems that happen in daily life, for example, in order to contribute something in terms of the added value to the existing product, okay? And according to OECD 2001, young entrepreneurs are youth who actively participate in setting up or managing a business with the goal of earning income, gaining work experience, and achieving self-employment. While when UNESCO defined young entrepreneur in 2017, okay, so young entrepreneurs are dynamic, innovative individual under the age of 30 who use entrepreneurship as a tool to address social, environmental, or economic challenges in their communities. Okay, for example, in Malaysia, for agriculture sector, so the Ministry of Agriculture defined the young agropreneur as youth at the age between 18 to 40 years old that doing or running a business related to farming. All right. So maybe in Indonesia, so the definitions of young entrepreneur may be different in terms of ages. All right. So now we proceed to the next slide. We want to see the relationship in between these three terms, okay? Management, entrepreneurship, and young entrepreneur. So why I take this relationship to be discussed for today, okay? We can see in order to make sure that we can be a successful young entrepreneur, okay? Successful young entrepreneur, we need to have the management skill, okay? Because as we learned just now, entrepreneurship is the process of starting and running a new business in order to create value, okay? Often we relate to the concept of innovative and also a risk-taking. And then to make sure this entrepreneurship or business organization success, we need to have entrepreneur. So now we focusing on young entrepreneur, okay? So as a young entrepreneur, with a constraint in terms of the experiences, so now we have to apply the management skills, all right, to effectively plan, organize, lead, and control all the resources that we have in our business organization. So therefore, we can say here, mastering management helps this young entrepreneur make strategic decisions, handle, for example, in terms of the finance, operations, marketing, human resources, and all unit that we have in this organization. And then this young entrepreneur have the capability to turn innovation, to turn the creative idea into action with the concept of innovative into a sustainable business. So overall, we can say that management actually is the backbone, entrepreneurship is the vision, and the young entrepreneur are the drivers of future economic growth. So for example, in Indonesia and also maybe in Malaysia, we need to focus on management right now because of what? Whatever conditions of entrepreneur, it doesn't matter young entrepreneur, young agripreneur, entrepreneur, business owner, manager, we need to have this management skill because of what? It's a backbone. Okay, we need to have these skills of management to make sure that we can manage, we can operate our business to make sure that we can achieve the goals. All right, so we can relationship between management, entrepreneurship, and young entrepreneur. All right, so let we continue with part 1. So for your information, in this session, I will divide by 3 parts. Okay, the first part is related to management. The second part will discuss regarding entrepreneurship. And the last part, part 3, I will focusing on young entrepreneur, inshallah. All right. So we proceed to management. As maybe you come from the background of management or business, so this term is familiar with you right now. Okay, but again, maybe I can share in terms of the knowledge that I have with you related to the core management functions. Okay, when we heard the term of management, it's all related to 4 functions, 4 main functions, all right, for core management functions. So the first one is planning, organizing, leading, controlling. So when we want to discuss according to planning, actually we have to plan. For example, we need to set the goal that we want to achieve. And what about the vision, the mission, the objective? So in order to achieve objective, mission, vision, goals, we need to have proper strategies, okay, to make sure that to the end we can achieve business organizational goals. Okay, for the second one is organizing. So organize means that we have to structure. Okay, what are the things that we need to structure? So in terms of the resources, for example, raw material, employees, scheduling, and also all the activities tasks related to our business activities. And then leading. Leading is referring to ourselves as the young entrepreneur, maybe the business owner, in order to lead our employees, give guidance to them. Sometimes maybe we as a motivator, and also we need to settle or solve every conflicts that happen in our business organization. And the last one is controlling. So control meaning to say that we have to time, we have to monitor all the tasks that we delegate to our employees, and also we have to make sure that the thing that we plan, is it we can achieve or not. So we have to monitor and adjust according to make sure that we can have a good performance in our business organization. Okay, so more detail up according to that for POLC. So we can see this slide. So when we discuss according to the planning, it related to some sort like we have to plan regarding what are the goals to be achieved, vision, the mission, the objective may be related to the value, to the culture that we want to practice. Okay, so these are related to the planning. Okay, for example, business mission statement. So in the mission statement, we can know why the business exists and what management does to pursue the vision of the future. So we can have the mapping, the roadmap to make sure that we can achieve the goal of business organization. Same goes to the vision, described according to the future in long term. Okay, where the business goes or where management wants it to go. So we need to plan at every single unit that we have in our business organization. All right. When it's come to organizing, for example, we need to organize related to resources, raw material, equipment, machine, tools, and maybe related to the human factor, that is people, our employee, okay, and maybe related to the process, scheduling, tool that we want to use. So we need to organize. And also, we need to organize strategy, okay, to make sure that we can strategize our resources, people, process to make sure that we can achieve to the goal of this organization. When it's come to leading, we need to play a role as a guidance, motivator, influencer, okay, a leader to make sure that the followers, the STP will follow. We will be a role model, all right? And then controlling is about monitoring performance. Okay, we need to evaluate whether the actual performance is it same with the standard that we did before. Okay, to make sure that we are on the track to achieve the business goal. Okay, right now, in terms of the planning, more focusing on planning. So right now, I want to relate with the concept of young entrepreneur. So as the young entrepreneur that just start up a business, so what should you do, young entrepreneur, in order to apply the planning concept? Okay, so first of all, you need to set a clear goals, all right? So you have to define your goals. Maybe you can divide by a short-term goal, long-term goals. Maybe you want to look regarding the vision, the mission, the objective, and objective for every single unit that you have in your business organization. And then you need to create a business plan. When you clear regarding the goal that you want to achieve, you clear regarding your vision, your mission, your strategy. Now it's time for you to documented your strategy. So in a business plan. So you need to create a business plan. So why a business plan? Actually, business plan is a document that you can refer as a roadmap for you, as a guideline for you, in order to transform the idea that you have into the action. So now, by using the strategy that you develop, you can proceed to the operations or the management of your business organization. And then the third one is conduct market research. So before you proceed to the operation, for example, you need to know regarding your market. You need to do the process of market research or market survey. You can apply in terms of the concept of market segmentation. Who are your target market? And also, what about your market share? So you need to know the conditions of your market, including who are your competitors. And also, we conduct market research to make sure that we can know the industry trend. What are the needs, wants, tastes, trend by the customer, in order to make sure that you can produce product or service related to the demand from the customer. And then step number 4, identify resources. You have to make sure that you have enough capacity to fill the demand from the customer. So identify resources, for example, in terms of the capital, fund, manpower, in terms of the machines, tool, technology, materials, equipment. So you have make sure balancings are there in between capacity that you have in your business organization and also in order to meet the demand from the customer. Okay, and then After that, anticipate challenges. So not to forget, you need to calculate the risk. Okay, maybe in terms of financial risk, maybe in terms of the marketing risk, maybe in terms of the rule and regulation risk. So you need to think according to the risk that will faced by you in the future. So you need to prepare, you need to plan very well, and also prepare backup to make sure that you can facing the challenges or risks in the future. And also set a timeline. So break tasks into steps and set deadline for it. So in order to plan in this organization, we need to have timeline. Okay, for example, maybe you can do it yearly, maybe 1 to 3 years, and then continue to 5 years, 10 years to make sure that you can see the progress of your business. Okay, now when it's come to the second function, that is organizing, you should ask yourself as young entrepreneur, what are the things that you should organize? Okay, in terms of organizing, it start with the structure. Okay, start with the structure, the organizational structure. Okay, there are so many types of structure. Maybe you can apply the concept of flat structure, hierarchical structure, flexible structure. So this kind of structure will be suited in terms of the maybe the complexity of your business, maybe in terms of the size of your business, the number of employees that you have. So you can choose according to the suitability of your types of form of business. And then after you have the structure, you need to define the position, the roles, and also responsibilities. So you need to have a job scope, right? You need to have a job description, job specification to make sure that every single employee that you have, they know their own role in order to do their task to achieve organizational goal. All right. And then maybe you need to have a team. Okay, so this team you need to identify according to the skill that they need to have. What about the mindset, the attitude of them? So how they can work together. At the same time, you have to make sure they have enough training in terms of expertise, in terms of the skill and talent to make sure that they can work together in a team in order to achieve organizational goal. All right. And then the rest is set up system and process. So you need to organize in terms of you need to prepare maybe in terms of the budget, in terms of the scheduling, in terms of the system, and also process. For example, you have to organize according to inventory. So what about the suppliers timetable, for example, how to pick your suppliers in terms of logistic, for example, customer tracking, also task scheduling. And then the next one is coordinate activities, all right? Communication channels that we want to use in order to promote according to your product or service, workflow optimization, and the last one is allocate resources. So you need to organize in terms of the time management and also financial allocation. So the third function is leading. So to be a successful young entrepreneur, you need to have an effective leadership. All right. So to be an effective leadership, you need to lead by example. So you as a role model, you have to show the good ethics. You need to demonstrating in terms of your commitment to the work, and also show discipline to inspire your employees. So right now, in order to be a successful young entrepreneur, you need to lead your employees. All right. And then effective communication. So in order to make sure that every single employee understand regarding their roles, their tasks, so you need to make sure there is an effective communication to make sure that all employees can understand what they need to do, and also they need to be responsible according to the task given to them. Right? And then team motivation. So you need to play as a role as a motivator also. Okay, in order to encourage your employees, encourage the team to do their task. So you have to make sure that you be a good motivator to them. So maybe in terms of the rewards concept must be applied, punishment must be applied to make sure that they have enough motivation to proceed with the work or activities. And then trust and respect. So you need to build a strong relationship through honesty, support, cooperative, okay? And the last one is skill development. So you need to make sure that you as a leader, you need to give enough opportunities for them as an employee to get, for example, proper training, increase their skill, knowledge to make sure that they can perform very well in this organization. And the last one is controlling. So what are the things young entrepreneur need to control? So remember, our goal in this organization, we want to maximize the profit. All right. So in order to achieve the maximum profit, we need to have this set of controlling. Okay. So as a young entrepreneur, you need to set standard first. So what should you do? You need to establish a clear, measurable targets for performance. So you should put a target in terms of the business organization performance. For example, what we want to achieve in a year, after 3 years, after 5 years. So what are the KPI, for example? So we set the standard. And then after we set the standard, so we have to monitor the progress. We need to track activities using reports, using KPIs. So after we monitor progress, we can compare result right now. Compare the results means we need to compare in between the actual performance and also the standard performance that we set before. Is it same? If same, we need to say, okay, good, no problem. Okay, we achieve our target. Let's say not same. So we must do something. So we have to analyze which part that give a failure to us, for example. Okay, number 4, identify a problem. So when we want, after we compare the result, we found, okay, something wrong somewhere. So we need to identify problems. So here we need to spot problems or issues in an early stage to prevent escalation. So now after we identify the problem, we found the problem. So we need to take action. Okay, implement solution to address identified problems. Okay, take action. So, for example, we notice that the problems happen at the operation management unit. So they are using not quality raw material, for example. So you have to take action. So you have to find maybe new supplier that with a quality in terms of raw material. Maybe you can go and improve the suppliers relationship to make sure that you can get the good supplies. And then number 6, you have to ensure quality. So maintain high standard in product and services. And last one, review and improve. So time to time, in order to make sure that we can control our business organization, we have to review and improve time to time for continuously refine strategies based on feedback. So POLC, planning, organizing, leading, controlling must be mastered by young entrepreneur to make sure that they have enough and competence or we can say good skill to make sure that they can manage business organization, especially for a startup period. Okay, now, so as a conclusion, we can say that we need to have planning to ensure clear direction and goal setting. We need to have organizing in order to align resources and responsibilities. We need to have a leading to motivate and influence people or solve conflict. We need to have controlling in order to track progress and make necessary adjustment to make sure that we can achieve this organization goal. So we need this function together to make sure that we can respond to the challenges. We can improve our performance. We can have efficiency and effectiveness in order to make sure that we can operate in a dynamic environment of business. Okay, so settle regarding part 1. So related to management. So now, how we are going to apply the concept of management, the 4 functions POLC into entrepreneurship. Okay, into entrepreneurship. So entrepreneurship actually building something from nothing. So you start with 0. Okay, so now we need to understand regarding actually entrepreneurship is all about what? Innovation. It's about you are taking risk. You are a risk taker right now. And also you have to take an action. Okay, then it equal to entrepreneurship. In entrepreneurship, it's not just about starting a business, okay? It's about thinking creatively, solving problems, and making an impact. So right now, so we can ask ourselves, so where to start to be a young entrepreneur? How I can join in entrepreneurial world, all right? So it's related to business idea. We need to think regarding creative business idea. After you have that creative business idea, you need to transform it into action, okay, in order to produce product or service that have the concept of innovation, okay. So now we need to have this entrepreneurship platform to make sure that we can produce something special, unique, new to the market in order maybe to solve a problem we are facing right now, in order to improve quality of life, in order to give benefit the community. Okay, now back to our slide. So we can see here, actually entrepreneurship start with the identifying a problem. Okay, so recognize a need or gap in the market. Okay, so now to be an entrepreneur, to be a young entrepreneur, we need to have the skill in order to recognize an opportunity in the market by searching the gap in order to take the gap to be a business idea. Okay, from that, we need to use the idea to create solution. So you're starting to develop a unique product or service. And then when you have a product or service, a very special one, a unique one, so you can build your business, establish a sustainable business model, okay? And then you have to counter also according to the risk. Okay, make strategic decision to grow. Okay, now in entrepreneurship, we need to understand regarding entrepreneurial process. Okay, entrepreneurial process. So, in order to proceed to the entrepreneurial process, make sure as a young entrepreneur, we have the understanding of management concept. Okay, especially in terms of the 4 main functions just now, POLC. Okay, now we need to understand the meaning of entrepreneurial process. Actually, it's a step, it's a journey, okay, which an individual or group identifies an opportunity. So, as a entrepreneur, young entrepreneur, the first thing that we should do is identifying an opportunity in the market. Okay, develop a business idea. Then, after you found the opportunity, you need to develop the idea, the creative idea, and then launch a venture and then manage and grow it. Okay, so this definition I took from Kuraku. Okay, 2017. Okay, now in entrepreneurial process, so actually it's a journey. It's a business journey. So it starts with the opportunity recognition. So as a young entrepreneur, you need to do homework or analyze the market. in order to identify a problem or unmet need in the market, in order to searching regarding the gap, the market gap, to make sure that we can have a brilliant business idea, to make sure that we can proceed with our new business. Okay. After the process of opportunity recognition, we must develop the idea and doing the feasibility analysis. So how to do the FA, feasibility analysis? So we need to do an analysis to make sure that the idea that we developed before, is it a good one? Is it workable? Is it can be proceed? Is it give value to other people? So we need to analyze in terms of the feasibility, feasible or not, workable or not, can continue or not. So what are the example of feasibility analysis that we can proceed? Maybe we can do a product feasibility analysis. Maybe we can do in terms of marketing feasibility analysis, okay, market feasibility analysis, maybe finance feasibility analysis. So we can do to make sure that we can have a decision whether we can proceed or not with that idea development. Okay, now let's say yes, we want to proceed with that idea. So after we do the FA and all the analysis sounds good, can be proceed. So we can continue to the step 3. There is a business planning. Okay, before business planning, we need to have a BMC, business model canvas. Okay, to have a rough picture regarding all the capacity that we need to have before we proceed to business plan. Okay, so after feasibility analysis, proceed to BMC, BMC to business plan. All right, then. So after we settle business plan, all the information are gathered in the documentation. So now we start to gather all the resources that we need to have in order to start up our business organization. So maybe in terms of the funding, in terms of the building, in terms of the location, in terms of the raw materials, in terms of the capital, in terms of the asset. So we need to gather and assemble to make sure that we can start a business. So now the next step is venture creation or launch a business. Okay, we start to operate our business right now. And then, of course, we have to manage. And at the same time, we have to confirm that the business is grow to make sure that it can sustain in the market. Okay, monitor in terms of the performance and scale up operations. And last one is exit. Okay, whether you can harvest your business or exit. Okay, so now it's option for you. You want to stop or continue. So plan for succession, sell the business or go public. So it depends whether you want to stop your business because of the loss, because of bankruptcy, or you want to expand your business. Okay, that is from idea to exit. It's all related a business journey. Okay, now, so I would like to share with you. Actually, we can see there are so many steps, but today I will focusing on BMC because from previous study, we found that most of the business just start up the business without proper follow this business journey. So today I would like to suggest for all of you students or participants who want to start a business, you need to follow every single step to make sure that you are in a systematic process to be a successful young entrepreneur. Okay, for example, we need to have business model canvas. Okay, we need to have business model canvas. Actually, what is BMC? BMC is a plan. Okay, BMC is a plan or receipt for how it creates, deliver, and capture value for its stakeholder. So the term used here is value. Value is the value that you can transform from you as the producer, as a business owner, entrepreneur, to customer. For example, Customer buy your product. So what are the value that they will got? Okay, maybe in terms of the satisfaction after using your product or service. So we need to have BMC to make sure that we can produce a product or service related to what are the customers' needs, want, taste, and trend. That's why we need to prepare BMC. Okay, now the question is when to prepare BMC. Okay, when is the right time to prepare BMC? So the proper time to develop a business model is following the feasibility analysis. So now, just now I mentioned regarding feasibility analysis. After you searching opportunity in the market, there are so many opportunities that you got, right? So in order to choose the best one to be proceed, you have to think regarding the idea. You have to develop the idea. Okay, after you have the ideas, you want to choose only one, for example, you need to do the feasibility analysis to make sure that is it feasible or not to continue with that business idea. Workable or not? Can we proceed or not? So after you say, okay, can we proceed this idea? So you need to prepare business model. Okay, after business model, then proceed to business plan, then start up. All right. So, business model is following the feasibility analysis stage and prior to fleshing out the operation detail of the company. So, in BMC, we detail according to the information that we need to use in business plan. Okay. So, a firm business model is integral to its ability to succeed both in the short and long term. So, this the step that you need to follow to make sure that in a short and long term your business will be success. Okay, now when we talk about BMC, so there is some definition that I got from Osterwalder and Pickner 2010 according to BMC. Okay, so defined by them, BMC is a strategic management tool. Okay, that provide a visual framework for developing, not just develop, describing, not just describe, analyzing a business model. Okay, it consists of 9 building blocks that cover the key areas of a business, customers, value, infrastructure, and finance. But according to Donald Kuraku in 2020, he defined BMC as a visual framework for identifying, understanding, and organizing the key element required to bring a business idea to market. Okay, so according to Kuraku, why we need to have BMC? Because BMC will help us as young entrepreneur in terms of visualize. Okay, visualize how business create, deliver, and capture value. And also, BMC can help young entrepreneur in order to understand relationship between different components like customer, resources, channels, and finance. And the last one is BMC actually quickly iterate and adapt the business model for market fit. So we can use the information in BMC to fit the market or the industry situation. Okay, now in this session today, I would like to share with you in terms of one format of BMC by Beringer or Island business model. So in Beringer Island business model, they divide the whole picture of BMC to 4 components. All right. The first one is a core strategy. The second one is resources. The third one is financials, and the last one is operation. So these 4 components we need to have to make sure that we can have a basic understanding related to the potential startup business that we want to start later. All right. So in core strategy, okay, in core strategy, we have every single parts. Okay, we call as an individual part. Okay, we call as an individual part. So, according to Beringer Island business model template, we will divide into 4 components. Okay, 4 components. Under core strategy, we can divide by 4 individual parts where we can explain regarding business mission, basis of differentiation, target market, product or market scope. When it's come to the second component, there is resources. You must explain regarding core competency that you have and also the key asset that you have. Okay, the third component is financial, divide by 3 individual parts. Okay, the first part is revenue streams. The second one is a cost structure. And the last one is financing or funding. And the last component is operation that has 3 individual parts. The first one is product or service production, channels, and also key partner. So this individual part will give information to you in order to be used in business plan. So after you complete BMC, so you can continue with the business plan. So set the business plan now, ready to start up your business. All right, now core strategy. Okay, just now I mentioned, right? The core strategy that you need to have in terms of the business mission, basic differentiation, target market, product or market scope. Okay, for example, business mission. So you have to create mission statement. Okay, so how you can create the best mission statement? So mission statement must be based on these 2 questions, right? Why it exists, why you exist, okay, why you want to open up your startup business, and what is business model is supposed to accomplish. So what are the things that we want to achieve? So this answer will be combined together in order to make a good mission statement. All right. So a well-written mission statement is something that a business can continually refer back to as it makes important decision in other element of its business model. So along the way, we want to operate, we want to manage our business, we must look again and again related to the mission statement that is stated before. Why? Because in this statement, it tell us regarding why we exist and what are the things that you want to achieve. So must back to the mission statement to make sure that we are on the track in order to achieve goal or vision of business. Okay, then basic differentiation. So in this individual part, you have to explain regarding what are the special of your product or service. What are the differences between you and your competitors? What are the uniqueness of your product or service? The attribute, the characteristic that will differentiate in between you as a new business and also the existing competitors. So make sure that you do market research to make sure that you can get information from your customer according to the characteristic of product or service that they want. So you can design your product according to the requirement or according to the demand from the customer. So here you explain regarding the uniqueness of your product compared to competitors. And then we proceed to target market. So this one is marketing knowledge. You need to know who are your target market. And then you have to prepare also by starting doing the market segmentation, then proceed to the target market and also including market share. So you can know who are the competitors in the industry right now. So in target market, you need to make sure that why you have to practice target market. For example, you can know who are your potential customer, who will buy your product or service, and then product or market scope. So a company product or market scope define the products and market on which it will concentrate. So for example, you want to focus on product scope. So how you want to tell regarding product scope? For example, how many types of product that you want to produce? Market scope. So where is the location that you want to sell your product? Is it only in your area? Is it you need to expand your business at global, for example? So you scope according to your market. And then resources. So the second one is resources. So you can divide by 2 just now. Remember back this one, resources. Okay, core competency and key asset. Okay, core competency and key asset. Okay, so core competency, actually we are referring to a specific factor or capability that support a firm business model and set it apart from rival. So you need to list, to explain regarding the core competency that you have. For example, you have core competency in terms of latest technology. You have the core competency in terms of the talent from your employees, for example. You have the core competency in terms of the design product. So you need to determine the core competency that you have in your business organization. Okay. So suggested here, most startup will list 2 to 3 core competencies in their business model template. So maybe you can highlight the 3 most important competencies that you have. Okay. And then the second one is key asset. So this one you can divide by physical asset, intellectual asset, financial asset, and human asset. So you need to explain regarding what are the physical asset that you have in terms of your tools, machine, equipment, vehicles, maybe building, right? Network. Intellectual asset is related to the patent, the trademark, the trade recipe, the copyrights. Okay, financial asset maybe in terms of the cash flow, in terms of the lines of credit and commitment from investor. In terms of human asset, we are talking regarding human factor. In terms of who are the founders, maybe the shareholder, how many employees, what about the skill, and also maybe you need to have advisors in order to advise regarding the business. So you need to list down all the resources that you have in order to actually have a clear picture regarding key asset and core competency that you have. Okay, and then in terms of the third component, it refers to the financials. Okay, financial. So this financial will be divided by 3 individual parts. The first one is revenue stream. Okay, so what is revenue stream? In this revenue stream, it describes the ways in which it makes money. So where is the money come from? Where is the money come from? For example, there are so many streams that you can use in order to generate revenue. Okay, for example, number 1, maybe you are opening a restaurant right now. Okay, so the first revenue is come from the meal that you sell, right? Maybe the second one, you have you sell the drinks, okay? And then the third stream come from you do a catering. So it's the revenue. Maybe number 4, you open the lots, the lots to another person to join business with you. So you can have as much as revenue stream to make sure that you can generate your income. Okay, so in a business, we have to make sure that we need to have more than one revenue streams to make sure that we can have more profit. Okay, after revenue stream, the next individual part is cost structure. You need to list down all the costs needed in order to start up your business. For example, capital you need for buying a shop lot or rent shop lot. You need to buy vehicles. You need to buy the raw materials. You need to have a salary, for example. So you need to list down all the costs needed in order to start up business. Okay, and then the third one is financing fundings, referring to the sources, where the source of money come from. Maybe your pocket money, your saving. Maybe it's come from parents, from your family, from your friends, maybe from the business angle, maybe from the investors. We have to list down. So make sure that the financing funding is enough to cover the cost. Okay, the cost structure. That's why we need to have the financial parts to make sure that we have enough what we call financing to cover cost structure. Okay, now settle financial. The last part is operation. So in this operation, we need to discuss regarding product or seed production. So how we convert, how we transform input into output by doing the transformation process. Okay, we can have a sketching, maybe a drawing in terms of the production of our product or service. And then the second one is channel. So how you're going to distribute your product or service from you, maybe as manufacturer to end user, maybe from you as a wholesaler to end user. So there are many channels that we can have to make sure that we can deliver our product or service to our customer. And the last one is key partner. Who are your partnership in doing your business? It can be you can have a relationship with the suppliers at the backward, or maybe you can have a relationship with the customer forward to make sure that we can easily doing our business. Okay, so altogether, we can say that the component or individual part that we need to have in business model canvas. Okay, so this is the example of the partnership form. For example, you can have a joint venture, a network, consortium, strategic alliances, and trade association. Okay, now settle regarding part 2, that is related to entrepreneurship. Okay, now we settle 2 parts, right? The first part is related to management. The second part is related to entrepreneurship. So now we can say that in order to have a business, in order to join the entrepreneurial world, at first place, we need to have management skill. Okay, the 4 main management skill is related to planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. So now, who are going to manage the business? Who want to manage the entrepreneurship environment, for example? So now, in line with you as a students, maybe in the future, you want to be a young entrepreneur. You want to contribute something. Okay, you want to contribute something to your country, to your community. Okay, maybe from you as a young entrepreneur, you can give other people opportunity for them to get a job. Okay, you can solve a problem by producing the uniqueness of your product or service. Maybe you can increase the health and wealth of your community. Okay, maybe you can solve issues, problem that we are currently facing right now. So there are so many contributions that you can make from the title of young entrepreneur. Okay, so in order to be young entrepreneur, you need to have the management skill that we learned before. Okay, because you have to apply that concept in your business organization. Okay, now for this slide, we need to understand the characteristic of successful young entrepreneur. Okay, in this slide, the first point is related to creativity and innovation. Is it same concept? Of course, different, right? So here, the ability to generate unique ideas and apply technology in new ways. So in a simple understanding, we can understand like this. Creativity actually is related to the idea. It's related to our thinking, our mind. That's why we think according to business idea. There is a process of creativity. Okay, when the idea, the creative idea, now you have to do something. You need to transform idea into something. Something is maybe product or service. Okay, that time we must use the concept of innovation. So we will produce an innovative product or service with the concept of innovation. So when we want to explain regarding entrepreneurship, it cannot avoid to use these 2 terms. Creativity and innovation is needed to make sure that we can generate a new idea in order to produce a new product or service. Okay. The second one is risk-taking ability. So, to be an entrepreneur, especially young entrepreneur, we cannot run away from risk. We need to be a risk taker. Okay, so we have to prepare ourselves. So how to make sure that we can reduce risk? Okay, we can reduce the risk. So maybe we can join a workshop related to the business that you want to operate. Maybe you can join a training session. Maybe you can have a good networking with the successful entrepreneur. Maybe you can have a good networking with the government in terms of knowing regarding the rules, the regulation, maybe the SOP procedure to start our business. Maybe you can have a role model, okay, to be your guidance to help you in order to reduce the risk, okay? Willingness to take calculated risk and step out of comfort zone. Okay, and then the third one is self-motivation. Okay, self-motivation. So to be young entrepreneur, you need to face many obstacles, many challenges. So you need to have this kind of person, self-motivation. You talk to yourself. Okay, strong internal drive and passion for their business idea. So maybe you try one time doing that kind of business, then you fail. So you cannot just stay like that. You have to do something. You have to motivate you yourself to make sure that you do again according to the problem that you did before. So learning from the mistake that you did before. All right. And then tech savviness. Nowadays, if you want to be a young entrepreneur, you cannot avoid from using technology. Okay. Comfort and proficiency in using digital tools and platform. So we need to follow the trend. So for example, if you want to market your product is the target market is teenagers. So you have to know the characteristic of teenagers, what are the platform of that they use. So you have to make sure that you know how to use the platform, technology to make sure that you can achieve your customer. Okay. And the last one is resilience and perseverance. Okay, ability to bounce back from failure and keep moving forward. So there is no failure in your life. All thing is about success. You have to proceed to just continue running your business to make sure that you can success. Okay, there is the characteristic, the key characteristic of successful young entrepreneur. And then challenges face young entrepreneur. This is the last subtopic that we want to discuss today, according to the challenges faced by young entrepreneur. Okay, so actually there are so many challenges, but we just discussed according to this point. For example, okay, limited access to capital as a young entrepreneur. For example, you are finishing your study, okay? You just finished your study right now. So you decide that you want to be a young entrepreneur. So of course, with a limitation of capital. So how come you're going to start your business? That's why suggested from previous research, you can start doing a business according to your hobby. May you see that maybe the thing that you have in the term of basic things according to the business you want to join. All right. For example, maybe you can borrow from your parents first. You can borrow from your relative, or you partner with your friends to do the business. Because at the age the new in a business loans, okay, to get the money to start a business. Okay, that's why government offer a lot of support in terms of the grants, okay, in terms of the seed money to make sure that this young entrepreneur can start up their business in easy way, okay, compared to previously. Okay, difficulty securing funding due to the lack of credit history. Why? Because we just want to start up. We don't have the financial history that can convince, for example, the bankers financial institution to give the loans money to us. So we need to make sure that we have enough capital to start up business. Okay, and then the second one is a lack of business experience. Okay, lack of business experience. So why lack? Not the problem of you, but because of the age. Okay, you just finish your study, then you did not start your career yet. Okay, so your experience right now is just based on the theory in the class by reading from the textbooks, from the magazine, from the thing that you observe right now. There's all information related to the experience. You are not actual facing the experience, so you don't have many experience. You don't have the actual experience. So in experience in finance, for example, in experience in terms of the operation, in experience in terms of marketing and all aspect, okay, you are lacking of. So you have to overcome this lacking of experience by maybe you can before you start your business you have to fulfill your knowledge according to the business you want to join. Okay, you can build networking while you are studying right now. Okay, maybe you can join, for example, the expo. Maybe you can join the seminar, the workshop, to increase your knowledge and experience related to business that you want to proceed. Okay, the next one is low market credibility. You don't know your market because you don't have information. So you need to do an analysis according to the market to make sure that you know the credibility of the market. You know who are your potential competitors. You know in terms of your regulators. You know in terms of the for example, rule and regulation, what are the restrictions and so on, to make sure that you can face and adapt in terms of the rules and regulation. Okay, the next one is balancing education and business. Okay, juggling academic commitment with business management. So you need to balance in between education and business. So what it means when you are running your business, at the same time, you need to make sure that you have enough information is your education level. You need to increase it, can obey to the rule in our market. And last one is limited networking. So we need to make sure that we, as much as you can have a networking to make sure that we can assess in terms of the mentorship, in terms of the industry contact and so on to help us in doing our business. And last one is technological challenges. Okay, technological challenges, we are referring to the technology that we use right now to make sure that we can use the technology to expand our business. For example, the power of the AI can help us to increase our activities. And fear of failure. Okay, we need to facing the failure. We need to make sure that we can overcome the risk that we need to have. And the next one is difficulty building a team. So as a young entrepreneur, it's very challenging for us to have a good team. Okay, to make sure that we need enough skill and expertise to make sure that we can operate our business effectively. And the last one is mental health and burnout. So most of the business owner right now, especially the young entrepreneur, will have a mental health and burnout. Why? Because there are so many issues. For example, the issues of the currency, okay, the issues of the attitude of the workers, how to compete with the competitors. Okay, so we need to balance in between mental health and also our works right now. Okay, so all the best to you. So any question that you want to share with me, in order to know the details regarding our discussion for today.
So much for your presentation, Miss, and for our participants. If you have any question for the speaker, please add them to the chat.
Okay. Okay. Miss Novita, I hand this session for you to continue if there are some questions they want to ask me. Kita tak boleh guna itu bateri tak boleh. Bateri tak ada. Tak boleh buat tu Ustaz ada. Ustaz boleh. Ya. InsyaAllah. Okey. Bateri Ustaz dah ada bateri tu kan. Kita buat.
Hello, ma'am. We have a question from participant already read in the Zoom chat. For first question from Mr. Abdul, which management skill are most crucial for your entrepreneur in the early stage of building a business and why? Thank you.
Miss Novita again. I can hear it clearly one more time.
Yeah, we have a question already read in the Zoom chat.
Okay.
Yeah, for first question from Mr. Abdul, which management
Which
skill
one?
are most crucial for young? Which management already read in the Zoom chat?
Which management?
Which management skill are most crucial for young entrepreneur in the early stage of building a business and why?
Okay, I got it. So to be a young entrepreneur, so which management skill that we need to have to make sure that we can start up business? So I just mentioned just now, the main functions of management, all, okay, in terms of the planning, organizing, leading, and controlling. We need to have this set of management skill to make sure that we can start up our business, okay? So we have to make sure that these four functions we need to explore and have the knowledge to make sure that we can apply in our startup firm later. All. We cannot skip. Planning, organizing, leading, control is one set that we need to have in a startup business. Okay? Thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you. And then the second question, how can young entrepreneur effectively develop strategy thinking without prior corporate or industry experience? Thank you.
Again, because I have a problem of electricity right now, I just depend on the battery that I have, so it's not so clear. Okay, wait. Can you chat? I will read, I think.
Already read in the Zoom chat.
How can young entrepreneurs effectively develop strategic thinking without prior corporate or industry experience? Okay, so as a young entrepreneur, that's why during your study right now, so you have to grab the opportunity by join all the programs in your university, for example, your clubs, for example, the seminar, maybe the training session, workshop provided by your university in terms of the skill. Okay, maybe you have the industrial training in your program. It's a platform to you to gain the experience related to industry. Or else you can have a reading. Okay, reading according to the business that similar to your business you want to proceed later. Okay. The next one by Kinan. How do cross-cultural management CCM skill come into play for young entrepreneur entering global or remote markets? So in order to proceed business at international level or global level, so you need to make sure that one of the skill that you need to have is knowing regarding the culture. Before you proceed to enter that country to join or to start business, you have to know every single detail according to the culture from that particular country to make sure that you can produce the product or service related to the needs, want, and taste from that particular customer in that particular country.
Thank you for answering. I guess no one else asking again, Miss. Hello? My voice is clearly.
Okay.
Yeah. Thank you for answer. I guess no one else asking again. Yeah, before I close this event, for all participants, please open your camera. I will take a picture on the count of three. Okay, one, two, three. Okay, another one, one, two, three. Thank you for your keen cooperation. Finally, we come to the end of visiting lecture today. We would like to thank you for Dr. Atikah for the wonderful information and sharing your knowledge. We hope this information will be beneficial for all participants. At least we hope to have more collaboration in the future with University Malaysia Perlis. The visiting lecture for today and here. We hope to see you soon. Thank you and have a nice day and goodbye.
Okay, again, back to you. Thank you so much for the opportunity given to me.